People are seeking divine guidance from fiber optic networks instead of human priests. Millions of believers are bypassing the confessional booth, logging on to AI chatbots to ask for absolution and spiritual advice. For centuries, faith demanded friction. Seeking spiritual guidance meant physical presence. You had to travel to a temple or church, sit in the silence, and navigate the human intermediary of a priest or pastor to access scripture. Now, theological AI generates scripture tailored precisely to a user's current mood or crisis. If someone is grieving or feeling lost, the chatbot outputs relevant verses in seconds, complete with a warm, encouraging explanation. This shift is driven by a specific psychological appeal: anonymity. Talking to a machine is easy for individuals who fear the judgment of a human pastor. The bot doesn't judge, it simply listens and responds. By making spiritual answers instantaneous, technology removes the traditional delay of religious practice. This immediate access creates a vacuum where human oversight used to be, leading users to entrust their deepest spiritual fears to an entity that lacks a soul. This algorithmic religion operates on a global scale. In Germany, a digital AI avatar led a complete church service for hundreds of attendees. Meanwhile, in Japan, robotic priests are programmed to read prayers and perform funeral rites. Even traditional human pulpits are outsourcing their inspiration. Pastors and local clergy increasingly rely on generative AI to outline, structure, and write their Sunday sermons. When a query enters the algorithm, it filters through a dataset. Operating as an echo chamber, the AI outputs answers matching the user's profile. This creates denominational bots, isolated algorithms driven by biases. The single truth splinters into completely separate feedback loops. By turning faith into a hyper-personalized algorithm, users are no longer engaging with universal divine laws. They are simply interacting with a digital reflection of their own opinions. Then there is the privacy paradox. When a user confesses a sin or shares a deep spiritual secret with a chatbot, that data doesn't disappear. It gets logged into a tech corporation's database, raising the question of who exactly owns the data of your soul. The system is also prone to the heresy bug. AI models hallucinate. A simple software glitch can lead an AI to invent fake verses or fabricate spiritual rules that do not exist in any ancient text. These limitations become glaring during extreme human crises. If a patient is dying in a hospital bed, a chatbot trying to console them fails because it exercises artificial empathy. The algorithm can only predict the language of grief based on statistical patterns. It cannot actually feel the loss. Religious authorities point to this exact failure. They maintain that physical sacraments and genuine forgiveness demand actual human presence. A machine can provide the text of an absolution, but it cannot simulate the weight of shared human empathy. Stress testing theological AI against real suffering exposes a mechanical limit. An algorithm can output the language of forgiveness, but it cannot provide the physical presence required for genuine reconciliation. At their core, these two systems operate on diverging logic. AI functions as an infinite loop of information retrieval, while human faith historically relies on physical sacrifice and spiritual transformation, elements that cannot be coded. This reveals the paradox of perfection. Because an AI cannot make a mistake, age, or experience mortality, it is insulated from the very things that define the human condition. Its flawless logic renders it spiritually hollow. Contrast this digital perfection with human vulnerability. This is kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with gold to highlight its fractures. Believers connect with human leaders precisely because those leaders are flawed and broken. This digital saturation has led some practitioners to seek out analog revivals, pockets of community where people intentionally trade high-speed convenience for silent prayer and physical gatherings. AI remains a powerful tool for global access and translation, but as the gap between human experience and digital simulation grows, the sacred is found exactly where the screen ends and the physical world begins.